You.
Yo, 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 yo.
Oh man, good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Good man, good man. How's it going?
Pretty decent. We got some topics to talk about today. All right, so let's do our intros. This is FreddyJGamePlay back with another video. Uh, back with another podcast video. We're gonna be discussing the news, the gaming news that happened this week. You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Threads at FreddyJGamePlay. Where you can keep up to date with all the videos and watch the edited videos over on the YouTube and get my insights and thoughts and everything that I guess isn't mentioned in the video or more elaborated. But yeah, catch me on those platforms for AJ Gameplay. And Beach, you want to do your intro?
Yes, sir. So I'm your beast. You can always catch me on the podcast at 11:30 Central Time, and also you can always catch me on YouTube. Same name as my Twitter name, and I do mostly live streams. And I eventually will start doing gaming news soon as well.
All right, all right. So a lot happened this week in the gaming space. So yeah, I guess we can get right into one of the first topics. Um, one of the juicier topics. PlayStation released a PC overlay for their for the PC. So pretty much, have you down because PlayStation has been releasing porting their games over to PC. Multiplayer games have been coming day and date, but single player games have been like a year or two or whatnot past their release date on the PlayStation consoles. Uh, they port them over to PC at a later date. So now, if you go over to buy one of their published games on Steam or Epic, starting with Ghost of Tsushima, or at least with Ghost of Tsushima, starting with Ghost of Tsushima, not with any other games yet, but most likely it'll be coming to other games. Uh, it may even come at launch, who knows? But for right now, we just know it's Ghost of Tsushima. It will come with a PC overlay where pretty much it's practically PlayStation Network on PC. So it's kind of like a simplified version. You playing the game, you can hit. I forgot the buttons. I'm going to get them in a second, but you can hit like a command and some type of button or alt and some type of button, and the overlay will come up with the PlayStation where you can see your profile, your PlayStation Network profile, your trophies, your friends list. To where even if a game supports crossplay like Ghost of Tsushima is launching on PC, it's supporting crossplay. You will be able to jump into another. You'll be able to jump into, um, say another a match with your friends. So really quick, just appreciate the viewers that's watching right now. If anyone want to come up, you can definitely do so to partake. But Beast, you want to give your opinion of this? What you think about this?
Nah, it's pretty good. I know there was like a big talk about the trophies. I know they're doing like PC trophies now, and I know that was an uproar, but I kind of like it. I like everything that they was doing with that. Um, they're not making their games date to date with PC too, but it coming out years later, months later, and then having all these enhanced features and everything. That's a good thing. I like it.
Bet. Yeah, I definitely want them trophies. Like the trophies, I'm gonna be real. That is a big thing for me, because that's one of the reasons why I avoided playing some of these games on PC. While I do play a lot of PlayStation first party games, like either day one or very soon. So I have played a lot of these games, but them trophies is definitely something that I'm not a trophy hunter by any stretch of the imagination. I still like to unlock something as I'm playing the game, though. Like it, and that's another reason why I'm not on a Nintendo right now, because like I want to be able to unlock something. I don't want to just play the game anymore. Like that's kind
Exactly.
of a little outdated. Give me something to show that I played this game and everything.
Could you imagine Tears of the Kingdom and Metroid Prime and Metroid Dread and all those games, Pokemon and stuff with trophies? That'll make you want to play the game more.
Exactly, exactly. You call it the rarest type of Pokemon. Yeah, let me get a label or something. You know what I'm saying, for that. So yeah, I definitely agree. I think this is a good thing. And I know I said in a previous video too, but I really think that this is might be the best solution, because I was calling for a whole PlayStation launcher to be on PC. So like another Epic store, another Steam store. That's what I was, voting for. That's what I've been. That's what I've been rooting for. Um, but they brought up this overlay, and it's I like the fact that they are not competing directly with Steam and Epic, because that's a hard competition, especially Steam. But they're indirectly competing with them, of course, by bringing their games over to PC. They said out their own mouths that PC was a competitor, so they are competing with them. They're not hiding it, but you don't have to put a launcher on there because your presence is already there. Like, you can still buy the games through Steam and Epic as a consumer, um, but you will still have that PlayStation ecosystem in there. They ain't got to design no launcher. They ain't got to upkeep it. They don't have to um, you know try to divert people from Steam and Epic to go over to that launcher, because most people are already so comfortable with Steam. They don't have to. And then in turn, it also gives people an incentive to get a console too, because without a launcher, there's no PlayStation Plus on PC. So you got PlayStation Extra and Premium tiers still on consoles. That's a subscription service, yeah, but it's you can get, like, let's say a child, and not just compare it to children or anything, or people that don't have PlayStations, but you can get someone that don't have a PlayStation, they can buy a subscription for a month, and as soon as they get that box, they got a plethora of games to play. You know, so I think that's a perk. They may still come out with a launcher on PC. And I mean, I don't know. They may still do it, but as of right now, it definitely gives an incentive to people to still be on console.
Exactly. Exactly. I like it though. I mean, they come out with a PC launcher. I could just only imagine how that's gonna turn out. Because remember, it's so many launchers out right now. EA launcher, what's the other one? UB. They got a whole bunch of launchers. So just to have another launcher is crazy. But I do like the overlay that they did. I think they're gonna stick with this. I think they're gonna stick with it. The overlay.
All right, all right. So we got some layoffs that happened in this gaming space. So let me just give some backstory on the gaming industry, if people haven't been up to date or just now listen to us, or the fact that we haven't been covering any of this stuff, because it's been happening for a while, before we started this podcast, or at least before we renewed the podcast. So the gaming industry has been going through massive layoffs. I know a lot of industries have doing it, are doing it. They're cutting down their workforce, um, cutting projects and all of that. Um, it definitely seems like it's from post uh, the pandemic, the choices that was made in the pandemic, which to each their own. Some of them have to be, some of them overreaching, but still, the gaming industry has been going through massive layoffs, and um, Rockstar right now, Rockstar laid off. Let me go to the article. Take Two, Take Two Interactive. They, at least from the time this article, the time in which this stuff was reported, it was on the 16th. So today is 4. By the way, happy 420. I forgot to mention that. But today is the 20th of April. So 4 days ago, it was found out that Take Two Interactive plans to lay off 5% of the staff and cancel multiple projects. So 5% of Take Two, and we ain't just talking about Rockstar. We're talking about Take Two, which owns Rockstar, 2K Games,
One of the biggest gaming companies.
pretty much, 5% of their entire workforce is a lot. I'm not sure exactly how many people work there, but that's a lot. Um, they they also, just to get some backstory to this, in 2022, Take Two purchased Zynga for 12 billion, which is like the mobile game studio, and yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, when it comes to these layoffs, it's a shame. Especially the amount of money that Take Two has been making, especially with GTA Online. They make a lot of money for with that game. They also um they also have the other games that they came out with, but they haven't really released a game in a while. We've been playing GTA for 3 generations now, from PS3 to PS4 to PS5. So now you know that the next Grand Theft Auto is gonna be on, obviously, on PS5. But these layoffs is crazy, and EA's not the only, not EA, Rockstar Take Two are not the only ones that laid off people. I think EA laid off some people. Everybody, Bungie laid off people. This happens all the time. It's sad to see. It's sad to see these layoffs, especially with the record profit that these companies are making. It's very sad.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Let me see, and like he said, it's not the first. So
It ain't
yeah,
gonna be the last either.
yeah. Let's yeah. Well, I don't want to put that into the to the atmosphere, but it's very it's very predicting that what you just said. I ain't gonna say it. All right, so Nintendo, Nintendo. We're about to be talking about some Nintendo. Well, not actually directly. So there's this emulation system. There's an emulator called Delta Emulator. This was released on iOS, and yeah, it's a Nintendo emulator called Delta Emulator that was released on iOS. You can play on your phones right now. With this emulator, you can play SNES games, Nintendo 64 games, Game Boy games, and DS games. So a lot of their older titles you can play from your phone right now. You can even, of course, you can connect, you know, an Xbox Series controller or a DualSense controller to it. You can be able to dock your phone to like a monitor or TV and play it. So yeah, you can play these games right now on iOS, of course, with the legal uh, emulator policies. But yeah, you can play those stuff on your phone right now. You
Yep.
play you play any of these games, man?
I played every single one of these games back in the day, but I don't want to say too much because I know that Nintendo's legal department is crazy, and you know they're gonna come after anybody. I don't know how long it's gonna be on that App Store. What do you think? How long do you think it's gonna be on the App Store?
How long? I don't know. Well, so because if I'm not mistaken, Well, let's just put it out there. Emulation in itself is not illegal. That's not illegal at all whatsoever.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
From the
It's
past lawsuits they had, I, I believe it was because, well, I don't know actually exactly why it was because, but I know Nintendo went out to people when they were giving a lot of stuff for free, or like their ROMs was on the same emulator. So like if the emulator creator sold the ROM, no, this I'm excuse me, the creators of the emulators were selling ROMs, if I'm not mistaken. So they were making a profit from this emulation system. I think if you are not making a profit from it, it stands in a legal phase, if I'm not mistaken. I know from the consumer you have to own the game. You have to buy the game so that way you can have legal rights to emulate it. So that's on the consumer side. On the business side, I believe that if the creators of the emulator are making profits from it, that's where the legal part comes in at.
right, right. So
Uh,
yeah, that was also another thing I forgot about a while ago. If you own the game and you do the emulation, then that's pretty much pretty much good, correct?
yeah. Now there's another. I think it's called. If I'm not, I think it's called Dolphin Emulator that emulates Nintendo games as well. And I think they was trying to put that on. I think they was trying to put that on console, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what was what was that, but
I remember the Dolphin emulator. I just don't remember them ever trying to put it on console, but I know that they was trying to put it on Steam Deck and PCs and stuff like that. If it's not already on there.
okay, it might have been Steam. Yeah, it might have been Steam. Uh, but yeah, it's a couple emulators out there that not just emulate Nintendo games. You can emulate PS2 games. Xbox 360 games. So there's a couple emulators out there. Uh, but yeah,
There's a whole bunch of them. I remember having another one back in the day. I forgot what the name of it now. It was doing PS1 games and what other games? GameCube games too. It did game. I think that's the one that Dolphin does GameCube games really well.
okay. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out. I haven't tried out. I tried out PS2, PS3 emulators. I haven't tried out any Nintendo emulators, or I haven't tried to emulate any Nintendo games. But I
That's a good one though. The PS3 emulators because that's like the hardest emulators to run or use.
That's true. I haven't been having great success with all of them, with all the ROMs. Um, it's crazy because the single game that I wanted to emulate, I can never find. Like I've never been able to run that game on my PC.
And what game is that?
That was Spider-Man: Web of Shadows, the PS3 version
Wow. Yeah.
or Xbox version. I have not been able to run that game. Like I don't think I think from when I checked online, a lot of people after a certain while, a lot of people was not able to run it either. So no matter where I go to try to find a ROM for it, or if I try to use another emulator, like it's mostly the ROM though, I can't find a decent ROM for it. So like I was emulating games that I didn't even want to like. Budokai Tenkaichi 2, I emulated that not too long ago. I played that literally not too long ago. Um, but the game that I wanted to play, I couldn't play it. So I'm not I'm not emulating a lot of stuff right now. But yeah, the old Pokemon games, I want to
Oh
go back and
yeah.
play some of that stuff.
Oh yeah. Did you ever try to emulate Metal Gear Solid 4? Because that was the one I had a problem with.
No, I haven't really went through. I only played a little. Well, I played like the first couple hours of Metal Gear 4. So I need to play that on my PlayStation in general. Like, cause yeah, I'm not really into Metal Gear.
Nah, Metal Gear was one of my favorite franchises. I just tried to emulate it, but I played it on PS3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not even on. Excuse me. It's not on PS4. I think I said PS4.
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4 is on PS3. Think the only Metal Gear Solids on PS4 was Metal Gear Solid 5. Forget the name. I didn't play that one though.
All right. So Final Fantasy 16 got a DLC that's just released. Have you played Final Fantasy 16?
Oh yeah, hundreds of hours of Final Fantasy 16. I played the first DLC. It's called what? Echoes of something. And then I know this next one here is supposed to be like there was a missing um what is the name of the things that we use in that game? I can't remember. But it was a missing
The icons?
um the icon. Yeah, there you go. It was a missing icon, which is the water icon. So that whole DLC now is about that water icon. I think it's called Leviathan. Pretty sure it's called Leviathan. But I cannot wait to play that DLC.
Yeah. Wait. So they got two DLCs now?
Yeah, they released the first one. It's called Echoes of the Fallen, which is based off of the civilization that came before the people in the main game, and they were the ones that was fighting um Omega. They was the ones that was fighting him, and they lost obviously. And that was the first whole DLC. Was just you going in there and you're seeing the ancient ruins. It was a quick DLC. It wasn't that long. And then you had to fight a crazy boss at the end. But the new DLC is the one that's about the icon that was missing, because it was always one icon that missing. If you look at it, you got you got two fire icons, right? Which is the Phoenix and Ifrit. Then you have obviously Odin, Darkness. I forgot the lightning one's name, but there's lightning in there too. And the only element that was missing was water. That was the only one that's missing, and that's what the second DLC is about.
Wait. Don't Oh, it was ice. Don't wait. Yeah. Isn't the icon that do ice or something like that? Like a
No,
ice.
Shiva is ice. Shiva was ice.
And that's the one that was in the DLC.
No, Shiva's in the main game. The one that's in the second DLC, his name is Leviathan, and he's the water icon.
Oh, so it's a
Eon, sorry.
so kind of because I haven't beat the game. Um. So the chick with the ice icon, she can't do water.
No, only ice.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because you would think ice you would be able to do it, but no. And then also you got wind too. I forgot to add that in there. I forgot that was one of the elements to wind. That was like the first one that spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for anybody watching. That's the first one that you get is that.
Oh, that's the first icon you get. What are you talking about?
Did you how far did you get in the game?
I got a couple hours to the game, but what?
So basically Clive, the main character, he is able to collect all of the
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Okay, because I was about to say Clive got an icon. That's the first one you get.
yeah, well, I'm talking about the first one that you get from somebody else. That's what I meant. The first one you get from somebody else.
Got you. Okay, okay. All right, cool. So yeah, Final Fantasy 16 got two DLCs. I ain't know that it had two, but the second one is out. It just came out. You can play that right now. Do they charge for it?
Yeah, they charged for it. It was I think it was cheap though. I believe let me go check right now. I know I got it when I got it. It was a discount when I got it. But they definitely do charge. That's downloadable content, paid downloadable content.
All right. Yeah, I didn't beat that game. I'm I'm going to and I guess we can talk because I forgot to ask you what we was playing right now. But as I told you, and the audience know, I'm I'm going deep in my backlog right now. All right, like deep in my backlog. I'm playing all of my backlog right now. And to be honest with you, I think last week I had said I was going to start. What was the game? Marvel Midnight Suns.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start that though because I'm trying to get all the older games out first. So that way I won't have to. I don't want to jump back and forth with graphics. Like let me play the older titles. You know, and it's great on the PS5. Because they are all enhanced. Most of them run at 60 FPS. Now I won't say most of them. A lot of the games that I'm playing in my backlog are running at 60 FPS. A lot of them are playing at 4K. All the games I played have been at 4K so far. Um, so I'm playing like a lot of the older titles before I get to newer titles. So right now, I just finished Near Replicant not too long ago, and I got to the first ending. I'm gonna come back and do the rest of the endings. Those games are too long to be playing 3 to 5 times each. Like I didn't. I knew it was multiple endings, but I think it was 5 freaking endings. So I'm gonna come back to Near, but I beat the game. I rolled credits. The first Near Replicant, it's not even really too many different endings. Like I think they are, well, at least true endings. I think that you beat the game and you're playing as different characters for the other endings. So I got to the ending of the first game, and it was an ending to the game. It was a satisfying ending. I rolled credits. I'm gonna come back to it later. I'm tired of playing that game right now. It was a good time. I'm just tired of playing it. um,
Game fatigue is real.
yeah, and that's just that's the type of person I am. I've always been like that. I have always. It got to a point where I think it was '09. I think that was the year. I remember it was like peak gaming for me. It's Christmas time. I had both the PS3, the Xbox 360, and it wasn't really it was peak. It wasn't the biggest peak in my gaming, I guess, but it was definitely up there. I was playing Modern Warfare 2 and I was playing Left 4 Dead. I think it was Left 4 Dead 2. I would switch back and forth from those games. I played like an hour and a half of Modern Warfare. So I ain't gonna lie. To be honest with you, because I was looking at the time, I was playing 45 minutes each, and that was a time which I had to get up, change the disc. I mean, change the channel. I ain't had a remote at the time. I had to change the channel. You know what I'm saying? Get up from my slumber, right? From my not slumber, but I was laying down, relaxing, playing Modern Warfare 2. Then I switched to Left 4 Dead 2. Then I go back to Modern Warfare 2. Then I switched to Left 4 Dead 2 again. Like I was literally going back and forth from the PS3 and the 360 every 45 minutes. That's how much of a gamer I like. I like versatility, right?
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I play every genre of game. Um, Back in the now you talking about back in the day. Now back in PS3 days, I was playing Left 4 Dead. I was playing Mass Effect. I was playing what's that one game? What's that game I played a lot? Destroy All Humans was another game. I
Oh, that's a
played.
classic.
Yep, Destroy All Humans. I played every single PS3 exclusive almost. I played Haze. You remember that game? Supposed to be the Halo killer. Played Haze, and I played that for a long time, and it was not a good game at all, by the way. But yeah, just to say, I used to play all those games back in the day too. And the game, and the gaming fatigue does set in when you play a game for too long. There's a couple of games that I played for too long. Tears of the Kingdom I played for too long, so I'm like kind of sick of playing it now. Pokemon, that's I always play Pokemon way too long, and once you get sick with a game, like you kind of don't want to play. You want to play something new, so you jump onto the new game, and then you go back to that game. Games I'm playing right now. Wow. I'm playing a lot of games right now. I'm playing at the moment, of course, Final Fantasy 16. Going to be the DLC. I'm doing Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty. Still trying to get through that. I'm always doing Warzone. Helldivers 2, of course. I started playing another game, Alive. It's a Switch game. It was a Switch game. I think it's on everything now. Great game. One of the 2D HD games. I love those games. Octopath Traveler 2, Triangle Strategies, all those 2D HD games. I love them all. So I'm playing that too right now. That's what's really got my attention. Um, there's so many games in my backlog that I need to go back to that I started. It's so crazy. Hades is one. I still didn't beat Hades yet. Uh, isn't it's gonna be a shame. I never beat um I never beat Death Stranding yet either, which I'm really mad about that. I started it and then I stopped. Never beat that. Uh
Why you feel
yeah,
like you
man.
stopped?
I stopped because there was so many games that I was playing at the time, and I started playing Death Stranding not on PS4, but when they did the director's cut on PS5. So during that time, I was just like, I needed a game to play, so I brought it, and then I never played. I started it, and then like I said, it was so many games at the time that I just switched back and forth to games, and then I lost interest in the game real quick. And I said I was always gonna go back to it, but then I never went back to it because there's so many games. I can like go down a list of games that came out since then that I started way before I even started playing that again.
Hey, and we ain't gonna get on the hay slander, okay? Okay.
Hey, Slime.
Look, I ain't
Man,
fully depending that game. Like I'm not finna die on the hill for that game. Don't get me wrong, but it was enjoyable. It had its moments. Like I ain't gonna lie, I played a lot of multiplayer with my friends on Haze. I
yeah,
I yeah, like we played a lot, but I never called it a Halo killer. I never really thought of it as a Halo killer. I don't know why it was advertised or wanted to be like that, but it had its fun parts. It had its fun moments. I don't. It ain't truly. It's. I can tell you, there's a lot of other games that's worse than that. But to each their own. I ain't gonna down the hill for that game.
and I mean the multiplayer games back then. What multiplayer games were we playing back then? It was Mag was one. Warhawk. Oh my god, we was playing Warhawk like crazy. Um,
Yeah, that
of
was
course,
fun.
remember back then they had Medal of Honor too. That's not a game franchise that nobody even knows about anymore. But they had Medal of Honor back then too. Of course, Call of Duty we played, Killzone, Resistance. I played a lot of multiplayer games back then, but Haze was not one.
Oh
Haze
man.
is definitely not one. I mean, I beat Haze. I remember Haze, but I just don't. I mean, if you had to rate that game, what would you rate that game out of a 1 to 10?
I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do that at all.
Nah, I'm this good though.
No, but what I'm playing right now though. I got Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry. I just finished that up, and then I'm playing Assassin's Creed Rogue right now. Um,
That's one
so,
Assassin's Creed that I haven't played yet.
yes, I like them. I like them. Three Assassin's Creed 3 is right now. I haven't beat Rogue yet, but Assassin's Creed 3 right now is my least favorite Assassin's Creed, and I don't think that's a terribly a bad game, but
I agree with
it's
that.
yeah, it's my least favorite. It is definitely my least favorite. I am definitely liking the Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, Freedom Cry, Rogue. Because all of them are kind of like Freedom Cry was a standalone game from Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and Black Flag was pretty good, in my opinion. And Rogue is just another, it's just more of that, like Freedom Cry is, um, but with a different story. So I'm digging it so far, and yeah, I'm on my Assassin's Creed, little journey right now. Um, but yeah, that's all I'm playing right now. Let me see. So let's get on some Xbox now because yeah, lately Xbox have. I mean, well, I ain't gonna even get into all the backstory, but I want to shine some light on something uh, Xbox has been doing, in my opinion, right. Something that I have been rooting Xbox to continue doing, and I was kind of saddened when this news came out that they had stopped it for a minute. But Xbox president now, Sarah Bond, she has she started back up. Well, she started a new team that was dedicated for game preservation and what they're calling forward compatibility. So they have a team doing that now. Xbox has they had like a they have been preserving games, a lot of their games too, to where they were um, they were putting their older titles, having them be backwards compatibility with their newest system, the Xbox Series X. The S, of course, don't have a disc drive, but if you download the games, digitally, you'll still be able to play them as well. But you
Mm-hmm.
can it's pretty much backwards compatibility with their older titles. So you can put Xbox game into a newer console, it will be able to run. You'll be able to play it. On top of that, it have enhancements. It's like pretty much like any other pro or any other newer console would do with backwards compatibility. The Xbox not the first people to do it. I was just talking about the PS5 games with playing the PS4 games on the PS5. The PS2 did it with the PS1 games. The for a time the PS3 did it with the PS2 games. But when it comes to the Series X with the power, and I'm specifically talking about the Series X, you can say it for the Series S too. Well, granted, let's just say the Series console because for the older titles, the Series S is still a pretty decent. It's still a pretty decent power boost. Um, for the Series consoles, it's like it enhanced the game so much to the point where you can, if they have unlocked frame rates, you can easily play an older title at 4K 60. Like, and we talking about 360 games and the first Xbox game, you can easily play those games at 4K 60. So, Sarah Bond started a new team up because they had stopped that project for a while. Like they got to a certain point, and then they stopped it. Xbox got brought back the game preservation, right? They got a unit exclusive to that, and you'll be able to play a lot of games online as well. From the Xbox One and Series X and S consoles. I mean, Xbox One and 360 consoles. So yeah, Xbox bringing this back, and they doing more with it. I like that. This is one of the things that, like I said, this is a pro for Xbox. This is something that I love the fact that they are doing. I love that when they started this, and I'm going to continue to root for this because it should be the way. You should be able to play your games backwards compatible. If you get a new console, you should be able to play all your games from the past.
That's true. That's true. But so I know we're talking about Xbox, but the reason why PlayStation doesn't have backwards impact was because of that cell chip. So Xbox has been using regular PC parts, and they did a lot of research and development on making sure that all these games run every generation. Whether it's Xbox, whether it's 360, then it's Xbox One, and then now Xbox Series S. All those games were running. They tested out all those games on each one of the consoles. Now you can't play every single Xbox One game on the Series X. You can't play that. Like, so some games not gonna work, but most of them do. But the reason why PlayStation doesn't have it is because that cell chip. That's why. you're able to play PS4 games on your PS5, but you're not able to play PS3 games on your PS5 unless you stream it, which is it sucks. I don't like streaming games at all. It's like one of the worst ways to play. Is mad latencies, a lot of stuff with that. But um, yeah,
They got better.
they've gotten better. I mean, it's not like you can pop in your PS1 disc and play it on PS5. But
Correct.
remember PS3 was able to play everything. It was able to play PS1, PS2, PS3, unless you had one of the slims or one of the fat models that didn't have that emulation chip or the actual PS2 chip.
Yeah,
I
but
remember
they
those.
ended that pretty fast though. Like because even if you had the if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was because even if you had the fat model where you could, because I had the fat model where you can play those games, um, backwards compatible. But after I think it was after like the first or second year, you couldn't do that no more, even with that with the right version.
Yeah, they ended that pretty quick. But you know why they ended it quick? Because the PS3 was cost so much to make, and that was just one of the expense that they had to put. You're putting the PS2 chip, the what is it? What was that chip called? The motion engine chip inside of the PS3. So when you was doing that, that made the production cost crazy. So they took that out. They started doing emulation,
But it was
and then
already
they
there. Like I said, like it's you already had it there. You didn't have to. They already invested into it.
yeah, they did, but Sony was baking on that cell chip being one of like the chip that everybody was going to use. They was going to use it in TV. They was going to use it. They was going to use that chip everywhere. When they
Right.
came out with the PS4, and that PS4 said that it said they was using the AMD like a mobile chip. I said, oh, that's it. They're not gonna be able to play those PS3 games, and they never was going to add it, and they never was going to even do the research and development to emulate it either, because emulating PS3 games is the hardest emulation to do. Yeah, there are some emulators that can do it, but it's hard to do. Very hard to emulate PS3 games.
Yeah. Sony do got a solution with that with the streaming though. Like I'm not I don't get me wrong. I'm not the streaming type person. I'm not at all whatsoever. I have tried it lately though, with the remote play. I tried every once in a while. And I tried it lately because I had got like this I had got the Razer Kishi V2 for my phone.
Right.
So I tried it, and it was actually pretty. It was better. And I know a lot of people got PlayStation Portals now, and a lot of people are reporting that it's not as bad as it was. Like it's actually like a playable experience. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go through that hassle of playing uh, streaming stuff. However, for the PS3 games, they have a solution, but they ain't doing enough with it in my book. Like I'm not the streaming type person, but if they got the solution, it was something that's better than nothing. I would rather them put them games be able to stream them than anything. But you can't. You can barely. It's barely any PS3 titles on there that you can stream. They don't even have a lot of them on there. So this whole thing, this whole fiasco, no whether whether I know it's because of the cell chip and the processor. I understand that. It's just that Sony is not. They not putting enough effort into it for me. Xbox has been doing that, and they've been doing it time and time and again, to the point where now they're doing it again, and they've been doing more with it. PlayStation isn't, and y'all raised the prices of PlayStation Plus. So where are the titles at? These are your titles. They don't have even all their titles on it. They don't even have all the first party PlayStation titles on it.
Nah, that's true. That's true. They definitely should be way more intensive by that. But like, and then they re-released the PS2 games on there. You can play some of the PS2 games on there. It's that's definitely a good fact though.
There's not a lot of those either.
Like you pay. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But then they some of the PS2 games that they do got though, I want to shout those out. That you can play on PS5 and PS4, Jack and Daxter. That whole series you can play, but they had to remake those games. So I don't know if they wanted to remake the PS3 games the same way and put them on there, but if they did that, that would be good. I hate the fact that they don't have that backwards compatibility, and then yeah, they raise up that price for the PS Plus. That's the worst part about that.
It's crazy. That is crazy.
But so, would you say that you don't like PS Plus? Are you not liking it right now? Because like I don't have a big problem with it because when the games come out every month, um, they usually are pretty good. Versus what we got on Xbox. Remember when they had Xbox? They was doing the Xbox by month. Those were kind of bad, but then they came out with Game Pass, so that's the reason why it was bad, right? So, how do you feel about it right now?
I mean, I'm be real. I've been very vocal on those concerns. What I just said. That's really the biggest drawback for PlayStation Plus. Um, I think is I think PlayStation Plus is better than Game Pass. I truly do believe that because they got more worthy titles from third parties, and they have their first party games on there too. So you know, I do like the selection. Um, I'm just now starting to actually utilize the PlayStation Plus perks, and I'm talking about the extra and premium. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you now. Yeah,
Okay, my bad. Uh, I had to reconnect. So, all I was saying though with PlayStation Plus is the things I was talking about earlier with the streaming and or at least the well yeah with the streaming, the fact that you got to stream the PS3 games. I would like to download them, but something's better than nothing. The fact that they don't have a clear, there's no clear um, distinction between extra and premium. They try to explain it, but it's like, okay, but we got Ubisoft games you can only play on premium. We got other games that's coming out that literally don't have no explanation, but you can only play it if you got premium. So there's no clear explanation of that, and the price increase. It's those things are drawbacks for me. There's not a lot of reason. There's not a lot of justification for those things. But I do think that it is a better service than Game Pass. I think they have better offering. The games are better offers. Um, and I'm just now utilizing it, as much. So I haven't really I played some games on from PS Plus, but it's not until now that I'm actually utilizing this like the full depth of the service. So there's pros and cons, but it's cool so far. I was about to, if I did not have this backlog, I would not be on extra tier. I'm on premium right now. I think I'm gonna downgrade to extra, but I definitely want to be on extra if I didn't have a backlog.
right. Nah, exactly. Yep, yeah. I'm on premium. I'm on premium, and like I said, I like it. I haven't even used all the features of it yet either, but I like it. I do like I said, I tried some of the streaming games. It's just you can't play these games streaming. Like what was the last game I streamed? Resistance 3. Just trying to play it just to see how it felt because I haven't played that game in a while, and it felt like shit. Go tell you, hold you, it felt like shit. Um, but yeah, that PS Plus, and then when it comes to Game Pass is just like I mean, I don't know. I feel like it kind of degrades the value of certain games that's coming out. Not all of them, but like certain ones, like Starfield. I feel like Starfield would have been better if it wasn't released on Game Pass day one. That's my feeling about that. But like the older titles that they have a bit, that's fine. I like those.
All right. So speaking of PlayStation Plus, so we got some games that's leaving. PlayStation Plus is a bunch of games that I don't even recognize. A lot of people probably won't. won't know, but it's a couple of Final Fantasy games that's leaving PlayStation Plus. So yeah,
that's a problem with these streaming services. By the way, when these games leave, like I seen that the other day too.
yeah, that will be a big drawback for me too. I don't like that. Now, the first party games have no excuse to leave the service. If any of the first party games leave the service, I think I have a bigger pushback on it, like a way bigger pushback, because it shouldn't happen. I don't think any game should leave the service really, but I understand business. I understand, or at least I understand that it is a business, and I understand that it's licensing issues. Not trying to not trying to degrade anybody, but I'm not as some of the Final Fantasy games been on there for a minute. I did say I was going to be. They're actually on my backlog list. Like um,
What, the Final Fantasy
I
games?
started both um, Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 7 remake. I said I was going to do content on 7 remake, so I stopped playing that. Um, and in return, I'm actually doing content on all this. It's kind of crazy. But now I'm going to get to them later. Then I'm going to get to them before the third Final Fantasy 7 come out. Um, that way I can be up to date on it before. But yeah, I know I haven't been into Final Fantasy either until these newer games, the newer playstyle. So yeah, those games are leaving though, and I think this is the last topic. So there's a rumor going around right now. Sony is in talks to um, buy Paramount Pictures, the movie studio, with a joint bid with Apollo Global Management. So
Not a bad idea.
it's not. In my opinion, it's not. Now I've been following this Paramount situation now for a minute now. Paramount has been looking for buyers, and I actually forgot. It's crazy. I said I was following this, but I forgot. I think they were Comcast was in talk, and it was some other buyer. Somebody made them an offer recently. Somebody literally just made them an offer. So sounds like Paramount did not take that offer, and it was in the billions. It was, of course it's Paramount, but still, like it was a lot of money. Um, but right now,
They should do it.
yeah. So right now, Sony is in talk with them. Uh, I'm trying to see it was 11 billion. So somebody offered Paramount. Oh wait. Oh, so this is the same people. Okay, I see now. Okay, 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 okay. So Paramount was offered 11 billion by Apollo Global Management. They were offered 11 billion to buy Paramount Pictures. That was the report before. This was like a month ago. Now it's saying that Sony is in talks with them, with Paramount, to do a joint venture, to do a joint buying of them with Sony and Apollo Global Management. So Apollo Global Management already offered Paramount 11 billion. Now Saudi is to talk with them as well. On top of that, Paramount is already they were in a negotiation deal, I believe, to buy Skydance. So if Sony and uh, Apollo Global Management buys Paramount, they have Skydance under them. So that Captain America and Black Panther game is going to be owned by Sony.
Hey, that'll be lit. That'll be lit.
This is crazy. Um, so yeah, since we are talking about this, let's see what Paramount owns. What this, because I know that the James Bonds, if I'm not mistaken, James Bond is owned by Paramount. If I'm not mistaken. Um, Paramount titles. Let's say. So definitely Transformers and GI Joe, right? So Paramount owns.
Could you imagine a Sony based Transformers game made by Insomniac?
Actually, that would be one of the best things that Insomniac can do. Instead of doing all the Marvel titles, now they do have all these Marvel titles, and I think they should go with X Men and Wolverine and X Men. So they already got Wolverine. They might as well go with X Men as well. Might as well do X Men. But I would love to see an Insomniac Transformers. I think that suits them better. You know, um, even if they pass X Men on somebody else, but since they already got Wolverine, they might as well just do X Men. Um, the Mission Impossible franchise, I can see that into a video game. That's gonna be like the next, not the next Uncharted, but like like an Uncharted style game, but that's different from Uncharted. Like I can definitely see a Mission Impossible game.
I'll probably be more like a Soulcom type thing.
SOCOM?
For Mission Impossible, not Soulcom. I'm sorry. Um, what was that game on PSP that we used to play? It was not Soulcom, but it was kind of like Soulcom. I mean, kind of like Mission Impossible. It was only on PSP.
Well,
Pursuit Force. Pursuit Force. That's what it was.
oh,
Pursuit Force.
I do remember. I didn't play that game, but matter of fact, I think I played a demo. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it kind of remind me of because it's like in that game you can like jump from car to car and take people's car, but it's like a Mission Impossible style type theme.
Oh,
So that's what it reminds me
yeah,
of.
I do remember that. Yep, I can see that. That would be kind of dope. Forget kind of that would be dope. Uh, Wait, do Paramount own Indiana Jones? Hold up. Wait, no, Disney own. Wait, no. So Lucasfilm owns Indiana Jones.
What isn't Lucasfilm owned by Disney?
Yeah, I didn't. I forgot about that. I didn't realize that it was owned by Lucasfilm though. That's crazy. Okay, so yeah, Disney owns Indiana Jones. Oh, duh. Yeah, Disney owns Indiana Jones. Okay, yeah, I knew this. I forgot. Okay, I forgot that it was through Lucasfilm though. That's how they acquired that. Okay, I got it. I got it. So, yeah, they don't own that. What do? So we got Transformers. We got GI Joe. We got Mission Impossible. Paramount owns Nickelodeon. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, so they own Nickelodeon, MTV. Yeah, they own all this. CBS. They own Pluto TV, so that's something they can be coming. Um, Comedy Central, BET. They definitely own BET. I think Tyler Perry though was in talks to buy BET or something like that. I think. Well, do he own it now? It was something. I think Tyler Perry is trying to get BET though, or he got like stock in it or something. I forgot what it was. But yeah, they definitely own Nickelodeon. Um, they own BET for right now. I can see Sony selling off BET though to Tyler Perry. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
That's a good point. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Um, Viacom, that's pretty big, but Viacom is the it's a parent company, I think, for CBS.
Right, right.
MTV, VH1. I forgot about VH1. Yeah, Comedy Central, all the Nickelodeon channels and stuff. That's
So my question, real quick, to you
uh-huh.
is, how would this make Sony better, and how would it improve their games, and what can they do besides the Transformers thing we just talked about? How can they improve themselves with that?
Well, so since it's Sony, I want to get on the movie side first because Sony wants more movies. Like they
Yep.
want more IP in the movie division. I think a lot because let's really think about it. Sony don't really got that many hit movie titles anymore. They making everything on Spider Man. You know,
Yeah, basically.
and Uncharted. They trying to make their video game IPs movies. Um, Granted, a lot of them have been pretty good. Like I like the Uncharted movie. It wasn't the best thing. Don't get me wrong, but I like the Uncharted movie. We know that should be having a sequel. Um, I didn't watch Twisted Metal, but a lot of people love that. What was The Last of Us came out. A lot of people love that. So what?
Yeah, those are TV
Yeah.
series. Most of those.
And they're granted. So they're doing that the video game IPs with TVs. So yeah, like you just said, those are TV series, and which that's been working. They should keep doing that, right? It's been working. Maybe like a God of War make it to a movie, even though they're doing a TV series with it. I think they're making a Horizon movie.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's a movie. That's gonna be a movie.
Okay, so the bigger titles, maybe, but for the most part, they get their video game titles as TV series. Cool, let's do that. On a movie side, they don't have a lot of titles. So this is definitely something. And Sony got that new the new movie streaming service too that they trying to, advertise more and stuff like that. So, I really don't care about that. But still, Sony definitely wants Paramount for that, definitely for the movie side.
Yep. And it's crazy how we think about these video games, right? And how you can turn it into either a TV series or a movie. Like, I would have never thought. Like, so the last one I just watched was Fallout. By the way, I know it's not PlayStation related, but Fallout. I would never have thought to put Fallout as a TV series ever. So then when I see Fallout and I see The Last of Us, The Last of Us, we already knew that was going to be a great TV series no matter what. What was that other one? Of course, the Spider-Man movies. Those all. It's just crazy to see how you can take that and turn it into a video game. I think this is what they've been wanting to do, but they're doing it in reverse. So back in the day, when movie came out and there was a video game after the movie, that game sucked. It was trash. Spider Man, you had a Spider Man movie, you put Spider Man out, thinking it's like the movie, the damn game sucked.
Spider-Man 2 the exception.
Bro, I remember them. I remember those times.
Yeah.
So you got that
Uh-huh.
right, and now they kind of do it in the reverse. They're doing it like, okay, we're gonna do the games first, and then somehow, somewhere, we're gonna transform the game and then transform it into a show or a movie, which is the right way. It's just crazy to see it. I love it. Cause it ain't really been a bad one yet. I mean, I think the Halo one wasn't as good, but so far every TV game series, it's been pretty good. And if PlayStation could get Paramount and then flip all that, oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I can hear you getting that nice sunlight right now.
Yeah, I'm outside right
The
now.
birds are chirping. The water is clear. I'm guessing. Hey, look, I don't blame you. Uh,
My fault, man, my
no,
fault.
hey, it's a pleasant sound. Um, so yeah, I mean, I agree. You can now Transformers. They can definitely do something with. You know, they can put. My biggest thing. I'm gonna be real with you. this probably not all they're gonna do with Transformers, of course. But my biggest thing is cut them War for Cybertron servers back on, okay? Like let's get that on. They can actually do that. You know what I'm saying? They can even remaster the game because they ain't got to worry about licensing fees at that point. Hey, look,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Actually,
yeah, like I know I be talking about all these multiplayer games, all these multiplayer modes. That game specifically, I know a lot of people like, and that game specifically was a very good multiplayer game. So might as well do that. But also they can use Transformers as a video game IP. Right now, even talk about the movie side, they can use it as a video game IP to um, they can use that to launch other IPs. Because if they get like GI Joe, Transformers, mostly Transformers, GI Joe will sell a lot too, but Transformers will sell that will print money. As a video game, that will print money. So it may not be like a Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? But I can see a Transformers game getting at least 15 million copies sold, you know.
yeah, I could definitely see that too. And then the money they can make off it, I don't know. But the thing is too, would they make that game a live service game, or would they make it a standalone single player multiplayer slash
Well,
game?
they can do both because again, like they can cover us with the remastered War for Cybertron and the other game I forgot what it's called, but remaster those games, cut those servers on, and they can keep those live service, right? Support that, or even if they don't put that as live service, they can cut those servers back on to where it could be something that could be like a plus for PlayStation Plus, right? Like you charge us for the game and then put it on day one on PlayStation Plus, free of charge on the service. So they can have us with the multiplayer aspect on that, and then um, honestly, they can just release a single player Transformers game with a movie. You don't even got to be tied in. Just release a game, like almost like the Batman Arkham Asylum route, where you had the movie like the Dark Knight trilogy going on in the movies, and then you got the Arkham Asylum coming out as a video game. At the same time, they can do the same thing with that. I can see Sony doing that too, even with all these other live service stuffs. I can see Sony doing that. I just don't see I don't see the appeal of a live service Transformers game. I'm gonna be real with you. I just don't, unless it's you put live service elements in War for Cybertron where you can customize your character more because you could customize your character. So at some points, like I'm talking about like guns and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't see the appeal. I don't see how it will make money. To be honest with you,
I mean, shoot, they turned Star Wars into a live service, and you see how well that went for them. So like, I mean, I guess you can make anything, turn anything into a live service game, really, to be honest. But how is Sony gonna do it? I don't know. I don't know if they would even try to, but I know that that's what they wanted. They wanted to keep making these live service games. Like, look at Helldivers, look how good that did. They love that. So I just don't know. You can make a single player Transformers game and add multiplayer to it, make it like a franchise that like is your own IP. You could do, like you said, you could do spin-off IPs off of Transformers IPs. That's also good too. Um, you can do just a regular multiplayer game, but that's basically live service at that point. So, I mean, it's a thousand ways they can go at it.
now I only say the live. When I speak of live service right now, because people, we all we all know people get the live service thing misconstrued. So I'm really speaking of the general sense of like the Fortnite season pass type stuff. You know, I don't see that happening. I don't see that or at least I don't see that being a profit for them. But if we talking about what live service truly is, like, because live service in itself, again, it's not necessarily the wrong thing. Like a multiplayer game having live service components is different from that season pass shit. You know what I'm saying? So they can release. Star Wars had a lot. They did it wrong because it was pay to win, but by them having live service components, that wasn't you know what I'm saying, that wasn't bad at all. You know, that's that's kind of how regular multiplayer is getting to right now. You know what I'm saying? They can regular multiplayers can still have live service elements and still function just like how multiplayer games functioned in the past. It can literally be the same thing. So, you know, that can be cool. And let like Battlefront 2, right? As a live service game, it was live service. It's not no more, but it was. And that's because of the approach they took. If Sony can take that approach and put it with, let's say, a Last of Us can actually probably be fully live service. I ain't gonna get to that. I'm not gonna speak of that no more. But let's say like Ghost of Tsushima wasn't live service at all. Um, crap. Let's say dang, they don't even have any live service games right now. I can't even think of no examples. Let's go back to the Battlefront 2 then. I can see them doing Transformers like that. If you take out the pay to win aspect, it'll be perfectly fine. Just update, just give us stuff to update the game. You can charge us for it because with Transformers, you know, that can be more of a live service game than Star Wars, right? Because you can customize the Transformer, you can have different prints, different skins, different not weapons, but you know mostly cosmetics, right? You can always customize the Transformers way better than you can like a Star Wars character. So that can work as a live service. But if we talking about like season pass, are we talking about what you call it, the battle pass? Are we talking about Call of Duty style live service? No, definitely not. Not at all. But we talking about Battlefront 2 without the pay to win. Yeah, I can see that. I just don't think Sony would take that route. I'm gonna be real. I don't think Sony is smart enough at this point to, at least from what they've done in the past. I don't think Sony would be smart enough to do that. They'll be better doing a single player Transformers game, cutting on the War for Cybertron servers, and ending all that with that. Right? They can, in fact, they can even start a new single player series with Transformers. Have all new original story, have the single player game, make 3 games from it, cut the servers back on for War for Cybertron, and that's it. I think that would be the best solution. And then maybe a GI Joe that they can take more risk with because you're gonna need to do something with GI Joe to sell it anyway. In this day and age, GI Joe is not the biggest recognizable franchise.
Nah, it's not. I don't. I don't think GI. I mean, to certain crowds, GI Joe got appeal, but not anymore. Not like that.
Yeah, making it a single player game for GI Joe, that's gonna be a little tricky because it's multiple characters in GI Joe and it's different play styles. So you know that's I think that's a little tricky. Like they're gonna really have to spend time and resources into that, and I just don't think Sony gonna do it. I don't, as a business decision, if I was in Sony shoes, I would probably take that route. But I don't think it's the best route for Sony to take because that's gonna be too much resources for something that you don't think they don't. The, the revenue is not gonna come back. It's not, the money's not adding up. So turn that into like a live service game to where you doing you having single player aspects of it, right? But you get to customize your character. You get to be an assassin. You get to be an assault character. You get to be a heavy duty character. You know what I'm saying? Customizing it to where it's different seasons, it's different battle passes and stuff like that. I can see that happening. That way you can get the name out there. You can keep going. You can keep promoting it, and that's going to promote your movies. That's going to promote if you come out with another GI Joe title that may be single player. You know, I think that's the best route for GI Joe. I know probably people wouldn't agree with me with that, but if I was in Sony, I think that's the best decision that Sony should make with GI Joe if they was to purchase Paramount.
Yep. Yeah. What other IPs that Paramount has besides Transformers, GI Joe? What other things do you think they can use with that?
Um, so they got the Nickelodeons. I'm sorry, I be blaming Nickelodeon right now, but the Nickelodeons with the SpongeBob and the Sandy. They got the All Star Battle Royale type game. What was All Star Brawl?
Yeah,
Uh,
it was fun, man. I liked it. It was fun.
okay, hey, I didn't play it. I'm just joking around because of what's going on right now. But yeah, I didn't play it, so I can't
Maybe,
even tell you.
maybe, maybe that game could be the game. The Smash Brothers for Sony, a Nickelodeon, but they because remember they had their own Smash Bros type of game back in the day. Was it Destruction All Stars something like that? And
Yeah,
maybe this new one if they can figure out some magic because that's a big IP. Not to say that you would want to use all Nickelodeon characters. You wouldn't want to do that. But add some Kratos in there, add Joel from The Last of Us, do some crazy stuff like that. That might be a little tricky. I don't they're not gonna do that, but that's wishful thinking. So you got Nickelodeon.
yeah. I don't think they should do that. Now, granted, I didn't play the game. So I can't speak on it. But from a business perspective, I think they need to just cut their losses with that. Because even if it's a good game, it's not. People would not want to play that game right now. Like no one is playing that game right now. So I don't think they should invest more into that. Like hey, look, we got it. We keep the servers on for however long the server should be on for. But that's it. That's all. We're gonna do something else with these Nickelodeon characters. Um, and I think they should make another PlayStation Battle Royale, and maybe some Nickelodeon characters should pop up in there. Because enough time, the same thing can be said. What I just said about this Nickelodeon game, the same thing can be said about the PlayStation Battle Royale that came out. The only difference is it's enough time that passed. So that's the only reason why I'm saying that. It's not enough time that passed from the Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Like they need to just cut that, keep the servers on, but what I'm saying, don't do nothing else with that. But I love to fight some Nickelodeon characters with some PlayStation characters. It's gonna look weird for a minute, but like don't freaking add SpongeBob as the first character. Like, come on, like let's think of some other, add a Daddy Phantom. You know what I'm saying? Like add a Daddy Phantom to the roster. Um, like some cool characters to the roster, and then later on the line we can get probably more of the popular characters. Like a SpongeBob or like a Patrick Star. But adding them into the damn Patrick. That'd be kind of cool too. But yeah, what you was gonna say? I'm sorry. You was about to say something else. Let me see. I think Jimmy Neutron is Nickelodeon too. B's about to come back up. But I think Jimmy Neutron is Nickelodeon. I think the Fairly Odd Parents, they got them in there. Let me bring Beast back up.
Come back.
I bet I can hear you now.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron is Nickelodeon. Yep.
Yeah, add him into it. Add I think the Fairly Odd Parents. I think they Nickelodeon too, right?
Yep, they're Nickelodeon also.
Just some cool characters. Like they ain't got to add those specific characters, but like some cool characters that can fight. You know what I'm saying? Or use some. Don't I ain't trying to throw no pie in nobody's face in the first iteration of characters and stuff like that. Like that's what I'm saying.
Throwing pie in their face.
Let me see. So, and then I forgot. I'm still looking at the same screen. I think Mission Impossible. They should definitely do a single player game with that. Like what you said. I think they should definitely do. Make another one of those. I forgot what the game is called.
Pursuit Force.
Yeah, Pursue. Make another one of those. Making Mission Impossible thing. Like, hey, look, that's what are IPs though? Paramount IPs. Cause I feel like it's something that we're missing. We know. Well, all in all, I think I think we touched on the the majority of it though. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Paramount owns TMNT, so
And you know they established already in the gaming space.
exactly pick up that last Ronin game. Oh wait, no, that's a movie that's coming out. No, it's both. It's both. Yeah, the game was already with who's making that last Ronin game because the game was already announced. They just announced the movie. Um, Ninja Turtles last Ronin video game. Is being developed by Black Forest Games and published by THQ Nordic. Oh, so okay, so yeah. I mean, then PlayStation would just own it, and they would, you know, um, they would co-publish it with THQ Nordic. Yeah, I think they should just keep doing that.
Basically, yeah. And everybody likes Teenage Ninja Turtles, so they got more stain than GI Joe. I'll say that.
Definitely. And then you can even do a crossover with, with. Hey, look, people talk about the crossover with Transformers and GI Joe. I know that was established already, but still, GI Joe and TMNT. Come on now, that's a match made in heaven right there. Matter of
What
fact, you can. Hmm,
I said, what kind of game would that be though?
man, I don't know. I know. So, okay, here go the premise, right? The premise is TMNT versus GI Joe. Matter of fact, I think it should be a single player game though. That's gonna be real tough, real tough. Forget it. Make it a multiplayer game. It don't even got to be live servers. This can be a straight up co-op. So this gonna be a co-op game, right? A story based co-op game. I know those have failed a lot in the past, but hear me out. So since it's multiplayer, right? It's not just single player. You design all the elements, all the different characters. You got five GI Joe, let's say five GI Joe members, right? You got Snake Eyes, you got, and the rest of the four. I forgot, whoever those four be. Um, and then you got the TMNT, right? And maybe like a Casey Jones, right, on a team. So you got TMNT versus GI Joe, co-op, all right, versus them, and then it's story based though. So they're gonna be fighting, almost like a injustice type of thing. Yeah, almost like an injustice type of idea, but it's more of co-op based, not a fighting game, but like a third person action game. They're gonna be going against each other throughout most of the game, and then at the end, they're gonna team up to take out, I guess, the Foot Ninjas and Cobra Commander or something like that. I don't know at the end, but they'll team up. You know what I'm saying? That way, and anybody on any side can play all the different characters. I think this would be a new type of game. I think they should be innovative. Oh, let me get you up again. I think they should be innovative. They should try something new, try something that's not established as far as gaming wise. Because look, you got to think about it, right? You got both TMNT and GI Joe on the cover. So even if you're not the biggest fan of TMNT, even if you're not the biggest fan of GI Joe, that's gonna bring in a revenue. The fact that you got both of them, and a lot of similarities when it comes to play style, because you got uh, all the people on TMNT are ninjas, right? All the people on GI Joe are military assault people. But you also got like this Casey Jones type character on TMT that's like a like kind of like a brute force. He might not have a gun, but he more like just like a brute force melee character. Now you got Snake Eyes on the GI Joe side, who's a ninja. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that can still mix, right? But you have different play styles. Like TMNT still got ranged attacks. You know what I'm saying? They got them ninja tools and stuff. Um, GI Joe characters can still melee attack, right? Because they're military base. I feel like they should just be innovative with that. Have fun, create something new. Co-op multiplayer story based game. I feel like that will, and of course it got to be done good, but that would be like, man, that would be the new hottest thing.
No, that's facts. That's facts. I mean, but the thing is, with games now costing so much, and then them paying for Paramount and everything, these games gotta sell. So it's gotta be something that's gonna catch on quick. If not, then it'll just be left in the dust. They do that with certain games anyway.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. I'm not pushing back on that. I was just saying, like, let's say we was like in a business meeting for a pitch, right? One, it got to be good. So any game we talking about, this it got to be good. So you got to spend time on it. The second thing though is not live service. Nothing about this game is live service. It's barely a multiplayer game. It's co-op based, but it's barely a multiplayer game. But it should be multiplayer because you got all these different characters, right? You got design for them, so you might as well let all these people play together, right? Um, but also again too, hey, look, we got these two characters. We got these two titles. We got these two pantheons going up against each other. You know what I'm saying? Make that. Hey, get somebody. That lady from Uncharted. I forgot her name. Amy. Hey, let her write this. This is your next project after this Marvel Studios game. This is your next project. You need to write a story for this because it needs to be good. It ain't got to be the best thing. It ain't got to be another. It ain't got to be another Uncharted. As long as it's good, the story is good. It's compelling. You have a reason for these people to fight. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the story, you got different like cross ups happening where these characters are meeting. Like this can be real fun. But I think it shouldn't be and I know I said the newest how to stand, right? And this gonna be my ending. This is gonna be my closing argument, right? um, you said these games gotta sell, right? And they do. This game, I think projection wise, they shouldn't have more than a I'll say, well, 5 million. That's pretty decent right now. That is still decent. Um, let's just say 6 million. Nah, let's keep it low. Let's keep it low. We can probably get to an 8 billion on this, right? 8 million copies sold. If it's really done good, we can get 8 million sold. But projection wise, 5 million. We need this game to sell 5 million copies. That's still a little tough.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
It is. In any game, that's gonna be tough. But the IP is gonna make it sell at least 2 million, at least off the rip, at off the rip 2 million. If it's good, we can sell 5 million. If it's fucking great, and we don't spend as much resources on it as we needed to, I can see an 8 million. Boy, GI Joe versus TMNT. Let's go. Let's go. You play with your friends, and it's good. It has a good story and different, like different gameplay mechanics between the different people. Man, that think about it like this. What's a game that did this? I don't want to say X-Men Legends, right? Because you didn't go up against other people. Um, there's another game that did this. I can't think of it right now, but I know it's not gonna be the first game that did this.
Yeah, not X Men Legend. Was you talking about like Marvel Alliance? Was you talking about that type of stuff?
Well, it can be a little close to it, but not because you're not going against. It's almost on the same idea, right? Like you got co-op is a co-op, so it's a co-op story based game, right? So that's when I say multiplayer, that's what I mean. So yeah, no live service, no PVE. I mean, yeah, no PVE. It's multiplayer. You know, maybe the story mode should be that, right? And then they have another multiplayer mode to where you can play PvP. But I don't want. I want to.
It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I want something innovative though, right? Like almost like a hero shooter, right? But not necessarily because that would kind of suck ass. I'm gonna be real with you. But it's almost on the same lines of that, right? Like you got
Yeah,
you got almost like an anthem. Like think about like Anthem, right? Without the flying mechanics, without that vast open world, it's playing like that with the Ultimate Alliance um game style, right? With when it comes to multiplayer, um, well, Anthem is the same way, but still, like, damn, I need another game. Think about like Destiny 2 Gambit mode. That's how I'm envisioning it, right? But with a story.
mhm.
That's how I want to envision it. It's with a story. Maybe you can have some PVE elements as well with the foot ninjas um and the Cobra commanders, whatever you call them, people. But like
Okay,
think like that. No first person shooters, all third person, something like that.
it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Wishful thinking though, at the best. I actually like that idea.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something new. Like a lot of games have not done this, so they can't go off of what has already been done. But I think that will be a great excuse to try something new.
Indeed, it will.
But yeah,
Indeed, it will be.
yeah, that's where like the the real like veterans of the gaming industry need to come in and like get somebody from Bungie, get Miss Amy, write the story. We need all the veterans, all hands on deck on this one. You know what I'm saying? Make it with like a indie type budget, right? But it's gonna be a double A game. It ain't gonna be a triple A. It's gonna be a double A game. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a good one, right?
Be a
Like
good
that.
double A game.
I yeah, I can see that happening. But they gotta have the patience and they gotta have the talent, right? They gotta actually put effort into it. Because if they don't put no effort into it, that shit's not gonna work. But I don't know. That's just an idea.
Yeah, just a nice idea. It's a nice idea indeed.
They need to have me in the meeting, so but yeah, so uh let me see. You got any more thoughts on this stuff?
On the Paramount, no, not really. But I do got some thoughts of games that should have had a remaster by now because we know we're hearing that They just did the Fallout 4 patch. I think they did with the PS5. So basically, it's gonna have and PS5 and Xbox Series X, and it's basically gonna have 60 FPS and these crazy visuals or whatever. They did the same thing when the Pro PS4 Pro came out. But there's some games that deserve a remaster that I would like to talk about. There's some games that they need to get remastered. For one, remaster Killzone. You need remastered every single game on Earth besides Killzone. Killzone is a game that should be remastered, full fledged with the power of the PS5 SSD and everything. They should really remaster that game because look, you know how good that game looks on PS3. That's one of the best looking games on PS3, other than Last of Us, of course. Then now we're not gonna remaster Last of Us a third time or a fourth time, but they already did that. Another game they should remaster, the Infamous series. Could you imagine if they remastered the Infamous series? Do you agree with that, Fred?
I definitely agree on the Killzone because I for one, I don't care about another Killzone title. Like I don't want another like I don't want a sequel or anything. So I think remastering is definitely the way to go. I would love to play that. For Infamous, I think they should remaster and I think they should make a new one. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I know they on Ghost of Tsushima right now, but I think one more Infamous game could be really good. Really good. Even if I'm saying one more, only because I would rather it to be like a complete story. I don't want no no what do you call it? Foreshadowing to another one. Don't leave it open ended. Just leave it as a complete story. And then if people want even more Infamous after that, then go ahead and make it. But I really think that we need at least one more Infamous game. And yeah, I think they should remaster the old ones too. Like I think they should go both routes with Infamous. To be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely Infamous, and then take all the stuff that you learned from Ghost of Tsushima and apply it to the next Infamous game. That would be great. I would love to see that. As I was thinking, another game to remaster. You can probably even remaster. I wouldn't say they already did that one. What's another PS3 game? Because during that time was like the best time for gaming for me. So I would say they remaster Sly Cooper. They could do Sly Cooper remaster. I like that. That would be like a nice little game to play too because we don't have that many platformers now. Not like Sly. Remember they redid Prince of Persia. They should redo that too and do a remaster for that. But I'm talking about like a full blown remaster, not the same games that we played back on the PS2.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. A lot of people don't even want another Sly Cooper game either. So might as well remaster the old ones. I think those are some decent platformers too. I'm not too much into. I haven't played too much of Prince of Persia. I definitely played the one on the PS3. I didn't beat it, but I really liked that one. If they make a sequel for that one, I would play that
Definitely.
because they ain't go nowhere with that one. That one was pretty cool.
See, and they changed up the formula when they redid Prince of Persia. It wasn't like that before. I remember playing Prince of Persia
It,
before.
right, and I heard about that. So I like that. I like that play style. They should keep on with it. Keep the same play style. But we on so much updated hardware now. Like you can literally not do. You don't even have to do much with that game. Just make it for current. Make a sequel for current systems, and that will sell. I don't think. I think I haven't played it in a while, but I think that play style still holds up today.
No, it does. It does. I like that play style too. But yeah, like I was saying, that those are the games that should be remastered again because we don't got no games like that right now. I mean, you could say okay, we got shooters. So and shooters is not the best genre anymore. I'll say that. because everybody's sick of Call of Duty. But even though Call of Duty Remaster, they call it a remaster of Modern Warfare, but it's the same. It's a different, completely different game. But they should definitely do these remasters. That was something I wanted to bring up.
Man, hey, look, I know we talk about Insomniac with all these other games, with Marvel, with Transformers. I still want a Resistance.
Oh
I'm
hell
sorry,
yeah! Oh
we
hell
need,
yeah!
we need another Resistance 2 type game. And we can have a whole new character, because but at the end, I think at the end of 3, they spoilers, but it's the last game, so I mean, it really don't matter. But
Right, right.
let's just say they saved the world, right? Is that a spoiler? I don't know. um, they say I believe they saved the yeah they did save the world. And I ain't gonna lie, Resistance 3 did it really did end on a good note, like for the series. So I mean, if they just left it as that, for story wise, it makes sense. It's a complete, trilogy. But like I don't know, something just more. Or matter of fact, they don't even got it. They can do a prequel. They could do a
Resistance prequel.
yeah, like not a prequel to the first game, but like have it set during the Resistance 2 times with with Hal Jordan. I think that's his name. Not Hal Jordan. That's the freaking Green Lantern, I
You
think.
talking about Nathan Hale?
Um, Nathan Hal. Well, no, Nathan is the third one,
Nathan Hale was the
and
third
a,
one.
and a number. Yeah, I think Nathan was the guy you played as the third one.
I could
Let me
have
see.
I
Hold
could have
on.
Nathan Hale was the one that died. Whoops, spoiler. But he was in the.
The Yeah, we ain't say nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought he was the guy that was in the first and second game.
Let me see. Let me make sure. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. His name was Nathan Hal.
Messing me
Okay,
up, man.
so I said Hal Jordan. I look. Okay, so yeah, have it set during that time. In fact, we can have it to where like I don't want to. I'm not gonna give away this spoiler. Um, but we can have it to where Nathan Hale shows up in this game too, right? Well, how would that happen though? Because he wasn't. Oh, he can show. Okay, he can show up. You know, be because okay, we already spoiled it, right? We already spoiled it. He dies, right? Because the third one you play as another person.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna spoil something else that happens before he dies. We ain't gonna spoil that,
No,
okay?
no, no, no.
So we can have it to where he shows up in the next game. Doing his duties, right? Right, as a military person, right? uh he can show up as a character, right? Let's have it to it's set during that times though, because that I ain't gonna lie, it was epic. Like people can love Resistance 1 and Resistance 3, and I love those games too. Don't get me wrong, I do love those games, but everybody knows who played Resistance 2 compared to those other games. It was on another scale. Like it was epic. Like that was one of the selling points of the game for the PS3. Like it was, you got this big chimera, this big scaling chimera that's like taller than the Eiffel freaking Tower. You got these other big chimeras. You're going from buildings to buildings and stuff like that, all cinematic. It was real epic. I think they should do something like that, like have it set in that time period because of, you know, how it was. And I ain't gonna lie, I just want the co-op back too. I love the story doing that too. That was my favorite story, but I want the co-op back as well.
How many games now that we got to have co-op? Not that many, right?
Not many. Not I mean, well, nowadays because we got these hero shooters and stuff out now too. So we got co-op games, but we don't get like the older style of co-op games. You know what I'm saying? Like it was co-op. It was co-op story based. You got different classes and stuff like that. You look, hey, look, low key, low key. No, I ain't gonna get to it. I ain't gonna get to it. Cause I'm about to go back to that Ninja Turtles GI Joe thing. But that's kind of one. That's kind of an example too, right? Like it don't got PvP into it, but um, that was a good PvE experience. It was story based. It was really co-op. Like you had to depend on um on your team to be doing what they need to do so y'all can survive throughout the mission, throughout the level. Like that was a real co-op. Or let me not say real co-op. It was deep co-op. It was a deep co-op experience.
Yep, yep. And I like that too back then too as well. But Bad Resistance 2 was a different thing, man. And nowadays we don't have games like this now where we could just sit down and play with each other like right next to each other. If it's not a fighting game, so like fighting games have you can always play with each other. But there's no game now like that out. I remember playing Spectalon and remember what was that again? Army of Two. We used to play that all the time. Sitting on the couch. There's no games like that no more.
Facts.
You can't play games like that no more.
It's to the point where somebody is advertising the game like that. What was it? Not Take Two. Was it Tales of? No, not Tales. What was that? A Way Out. Yeah, A Way Out. And the other one, I forgot the other one's name, but that was his old. That's how he advertised the game. It was couch co-op. How is it that you advertise the game that's couch co-op? That's your biggest selling point of the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is
And
crazy.
2024, well, 2022, whatever the game came out,
And then nobody
2021.
was even doing that
Yeah.
couch co-op during that time either.
Oh man, I'm looking at this Drake disc. People opinions on it. This is hilarious.
Did this
But
drop already? His this Lamar?
Drake had dropped another disc to Kendrick using AI voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
Is it legit that we know it's from him?
Yes, yeah, because he got a verse on it too. Like, oh, excuse me, he's using the AI. It's like it's his same rap, like it's his same flow, but he's using the voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg. But then after those two verses, he used his regular voice too. So he got like a verse with his regular verses, with his regular voice as well. So it's legit. It sounds legit. And that his voice can be AI too, but still, that his his voice don't sound AI. And the AI voices, Drake is still using his same Drake flow. So it's real.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I know that's not gaming related, but I do love this rap beef. I'm telling you, this is what hip hop needs. It's the same thing that gaming needs. Gaming needs more competition for everybody to be good. Rap need more competition too.
For real. For real. All right, so since since we're done with the topics and everything, let's get to our outros. Um, yeah. All right. So, Beast, you wanna start out with your outro?
Yeah, man. This is your Era Beast once again. You can find me on Twitter, Era Beast, obviously, and then also on YouTube where I live stream a lot. Mostly every week I live stream playing different games, and eventually I'll start making actual videos instead of live stream. So that's once again that's your Era Beast on Twitter, and it's the same name that's on my YouTube channel.
All right, and this is FreddyJGamePlay. You can catch me on FreddyJ on YouTube, Twitter, or X, however you want to call it. Instagram and Threads. Um, Catch us over on my Twitter if you want to, or Beast Twitter if you want to catch the live streams of us doing a podcast live. The YouTube where you can find the edited video. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that way you can help us out. If you even want to dislike the video, you can go ahead and do that. Give us some type of feedback, and yeah, also if you want to join in on the gameplay spaces on X for any of our community trivias, you can definitely find us here. They probably not going to be posting on the YouTube, so catch us over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, if you want to participate there. Thank y'all for tuning in, and peace out.